Welcome to Elevate Nigeria. Do you know that the largest number of entrepreneurs in Africa is in Nigeria? But there's another side to that story. The highest number of business failures is also in Nigeria. But let me deviate a little and tell you a little bit of a story about the princess and the frog. We know this story, it's a popular one. But if you don't know it, listen. And if you know it, listen as well, because there's a twist. The princess woke up this beautiful morning, walking along the street, and in a corner she heard a frog calling her. She turned and saw this frog. She was startled. How come this frog is talking? And the frog said, I've been put in this situation, but if a beautiful princess kisses me, I will turn into a handsome prince. The princess looked around, looked at this frog. The frog was looking dejected, ugly, wet, green. How can I do this? But out of pity, she said, you know what? Let me just do that. She kissed the frog, and the frog became a handsome prince. And they lived happily ever after. Well, that's the end of the story. You had that in primary school or nursery school. But that's what Innocent decided to do. He decided to kiss the challenges in Nigeria, and he's built one of the biggest businesses. Unlike Elon Musk, who his father, I think, gave $28,000 to start his business, or Bill Gates, who his mom, who kind of helped introduce him to, I think, IBM, and then he went ahead. But they worked hard. I'm not trying to, put them down. They've worked hard. They've done great things. I'm just saying that they were in a different environment. The environment was a bit more conducive. But Innocent didn't have all that. Innocent grew up in the eastern part of Nigeria called Nnewi. And I listened to where he said he's never left that town. He travels and he comes back. He's always been in the Navy, finished his secondary school, but did not go to university, doesn't have a college degree, didn't have master's or PhD anyway. But he had a vision. He worked with his brother. His brother owned a pharmacy. He worked for the brother, and then when he finished working for the brother, I think the brother gave him something to start his business with. He started a motorcycle business, but he still had a vision. He still had a vision. He knew he could do more. His desire was to produce quality vehicles that would cater to the Nigerian market while promoting local manufacturing. His vision was clear. He traded with motorcycle parts. He did well with that, but he had a vision. He had a vision. But there were a lot of challenges. He had to kiss a lot of frogs, a lot of challenges. Number one, the banks in Nigeria weren't really helping, didn't help at the start. Road infrastructure, power infrastructure, there were a lot of things he had to grapple with. But he persevered. He did say that government has been a bit supportive, but he persevered. He persevered. He knew what he wanted. And finally, in 2014, the first made in Nigeria vehicle was attributed to Innocent Motors. And Innocent is a big business, employing thousands of people. A lot of innovation. I know that Anambra State Governor uses Innocent cars. If I didn't get it right, please. But I think he did say that. And the previous governor, I think Peter Obi, was also very instrumental to his progress. And this is just to encourage entrepreneurs, the ones that are doing well, that are thriving. Well done, to thrive in that environment. Well done. And for the ones that are about to give up, I have another story. I'm a storyteller. There's a man, I think somewhere in America. Due to the drought, he started selling pieces of his land. He started selling it piece by piece so that he could feed his family. There was no money, and he had to cater for his family, cater for his children. So he started selling his land piece by piece. Until one day, an oil company, they were exploring oil and said, you know what, let's try and see whether we can see anything on this land. He had nothing to lose. And he said, you know what, do what I have nothing to lose. I'm selling the land piece by piece anyway. So they dug and they found oil on that land. And the man became a millionaire overnight. And people say, oh, he just became a millionaire overnight, but he has always been a millionaire. It's just that he didn't know that oil was there. So that's for business owners, and for every other person. You just keep at it. Keep at it, especially if you know that this is what God has told you to do. Keep at it, keep striving, keep working hard. And one day, that oil will be found. And, every other thing will be a story of the past. And it reminds us of David and Goliath. You know how Goliath was, just threatening the Israelites until David said, you know what, God with me, with God, I can do all things and I'll be able to defeat you. And David went ahead and he defeated Goliath. So kudos to all the business people out there in Nigeria hustling, striving, trying to make ends meet, and those that are prospering as well. Well done. And for every other person in Nigeria, well done. One day, it will become one of the greatest places to live in on earth. So continue to elevate Nigeria in your thoughts, in your words, and in your actions. Take care. Remember to subscribe, like, and share. That's how this channel can grow.